Hey Disney, Zack Snyder. To what do we owe the pleasure? I'd like to make a Star Wars movie. No. Fine. Then I'll make my own Star Wars. With blackjack and hookers. Hey, Commander Fennec here. And, Zack Snyder. Love him or hate him, he's the Marmite of directors. Actually, there's quite a few I could put in that category. Guys, we're not here to talk about that, but about his latest movie, Rebel Moon. Based on a Star Wars script he proposed to Disney, which Kathleen Kennedy rejected. That should have been a big clue right there. There's little point beating about the bush. This was sadly not a good movie. Why sadly? It's a sci-fi movie with a pretty big budget, introducing us to a brand new universe which could have opened the door to a slew of original adventures. Were you really hoping for that when the movie was so heavily based on the Seven Samurai? The what now? You don't know the Japanese original? Must have been before my time. How about the American remake, The Magnificent Seven? No, doesn't ring a bell. Surely you know A Bug's Life. Oh yes, you mean it's a copy of Battle Beyond the Stars then? Yep, a story that's been done, redone, and redone again, does start to get a little stale. But it's not just that. You can inspire yourself from stories that came before while still ending up with an original story yourself, like those movies you mentioned achieved. Hell, George Lucas did it too, and so did so many others. But the absolute basic premise of this one makes zero sense. Which part exactly? Because there was a lot that made zero sense. I'm talking about the exciting incident that propels our heroes on their adventure. I'm all for suspension of disbelief, but really, how can a massive galactic empire with a mighty army of interstellar ships who have the technology to cross the void between stars, transfer a person's consciousness across solar systems, and even resurrect the dead, have to coerce a bunch of lowly peasants to grow food for them? So the movie can happen? If your movie needs a non sequitur for it to happen, you're not off to a good start. But sadly, it was so much worse than that. We start with a voiceover exposition. Very 1980s Dune. But we don't get any sense of time. When did those events happen? When were the royal family executed? Last week? Last month? Last year? 10 years ago? We've no idea. And that lack of sense of time is present throughout the movie. We have no idea how far cities or planets are from each other, or how long it takes for our heroes to get to them. In fact, each major scene happens one after the other, but there's no glue holding anything together. What kind of glue were you looking for? Cora's on the lookout for warriors who would fight to defend her adopted village, so she travels to where they are, and then they're part of the team. When was the time spent persuading them to help? Doesn't she spend some time trying to convince that general? The genius general who does nothing for the rest of the movie? Aside from looking cool. Oh yeah, she tells him that revenge is a good reason to stay alive and keep fighting. Revenge from what? We don't know, but it works. Just mention revenge once, and his crippling depression is gone, and he's good to go. Amazing he never considered the possibility before. During all the years he was drinking himself silly. And just before that, the woman with the lightsabers, who aren't lightsabers, and who followed Cora after she killed a giant spider because why not? Actually, that spider was a sentient being, distraught and traumatized because her planet had been invaded by humans who poisoned the atmosphere, leading to her children no longer able to be born. And one of our supposed heroes killed her? Yeah, that's not a good look. And questionable though her actions were, none of our team of supposed heroes did anything for the longest time. They just stood there, watching. So that mother killer just had told Cora that revenge is never a good reason to fight. Yet now, Cora tells the general, revenge! Yay! So what particular wisdom is Zack trying to share with us here? I think the wisdom that his shots look cool. Like when that prisoner, who happens to be a prince of some kind, tames a giant crow creature and flies it. Oh yeah, that looked cool, but didn't that give you Avatar feels? Oh, absolutely, but aside from looking cool, what was the purpose of that scene? Like so many others, it's there to look cool on its own, but it doesn't feel part of a cohesive whole. Everything's disjointed, actually. It's like we're offered a series of beautiful-looking, unrelated tableaus, and that's it. And as a result, we feel nothing, absolutely nothing for the characters we should care about and root for. True. One of them dies to save the others, and I didn't feel anything. Because we didn't know anything about him, so his sacrifice felt totally empty. About that scene. He's attacking a gunner who's in his little gunning turret, which is a tiny part of a large ship. And somehow that gunning turret also controlled the ship's navigation, leading to the whole ship crashing. And there was no one else on board with any controls to stop it? You're talking about an empire that doesn't know how to grow food, McClock. So, it seems sensible ship design is pretty alien to them too. As an engineer, I'm mightily offended. And the movie's main bad guy, Admiral Noble, is just as bland and forgettable. He's a classic bad guy who promises life, riches, whatever, in exchange for information, food, or whatever, and once he gets it, kills that person. Yawn. That's so boring. I'm so tired of seeing that again and again and again. I can't tell you. Classic boring bad guy indeed. There's actually nothing we haven't already seen before in other movies, and oftentimes not done as well here. At least he dies at the end. I love how Cora hits him with his own staff and all his teeth fall out in slow motion. Of course in slow motion. Snyder loves slow motion. And yet, he's not actually dead. The people who can't grow food for themselves can resurrect him, which they do, and I thought, why? He was the most generic of bad guys. There was nothing special about him. There are bound to be hundreds, if not thousands, of admirals just like him throughout the Mother World. So why did he have to be resurrected? It's as boring a decision as resurrecting Quaritch from Avatar 2. At least Quaritch was more memorable. They were both creatively bankrupt decisions, Mouse. I'm talking about the character resurrections, of course, not the actors. Oh, and best of all, that cool shot where his teeth were knocked out, totally forgotten when we see his lifeless body next. His other wounds are still present, but he's now got a perfect set of gnashers. I mean, come on. That's some basic continuity shit here. With all the millions of dollars spent to make this movie, they couldn't afford a continuity person. Clearly not. So there you have it. We have an overlong, disjointed mess of a movie with atrocious and utterly unrealistic dialogue that makes Anakin's speech about sand feel like a Shakespearean soliloquy in comparison. Looking forward to part 2 in April? No. And apparently, 3 months after that, Netflix will release an extended director's cut of this first one. Oh, hold on. Snyder had full creative control, right? That's what we hear. So, what's the deal with making a director's cut, then? You've got me. Cynical marketing, most likely. But I've got one better for you. How is Snyder unable to tell a cohesive story in 2 hours? Think that movie will make more sense with the extra time awarded to the special edition? If it does, I would greatly question the decision to release this incomplete, disjointed mess of a version, which totally sours any goodwill we could have had coming into this new universe with fresh eyes. I'm awarding Rebel Moon, Child of Fire 1 Paul. But tell me, what did you think of this movie? Share your thoughts in the comments. Live long, and may the Force be with you.